Hey, let's make sure it's going to stay on. There we go. Welcome into the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show. I got buzzers going off. I got microphones off. We're off to a great start, Coach Zamby. But how are you?
I was prepared. How are you?
Well, you're always prepared. You know, we saw the little intro with a lot of those different sports. A lot of those sports are kicking off this week.
They are. Cross countries are getting it right now. Saw Coach Neely yesterday, I think it was. The days are sort of mixing together when you get there at dark and leave at dark. So I can't remember what day it is, but saw her a day or two ago. She's proud of what's going on there. Volleyball's going on in the back gym. They're getting after it, Coach Smith. And we're getting that floor about completed in the Warren gym, so excited about that. So good things are happening right now. Tennis is going. So, Tatum, my daughter plays tennis, so she's up and at 'em at tennis practice every day. So everybody's rocking and rolling. We got a little football going on as well.
Yes, sir. Derek and I have been hanging out a little bit at football practice, and we saw the first one Monday, then day two. I could even tell a difference between day one and day two. It looked like day two, Tuesday morning, there was a little more step in there, giddy up. It just seemed like to us.
Well, yesterday, we had a great mental practice, which is good. We try to set the tone with the mental preparation, and your attitude determines how you prepare and how you practice that day. So we've really been focused on that, and I thought it was a great day yesterday. Today is a day that your body's breaking down, you're becoming sore, you're becoming wore out, and it's harder to get through those reps. But I thought mentally we did well today. I thought we got better today, offensively especially. I'll let this guy beside me talk about defense, but offensively I thought we were executing better. We're just getting used to it now. We're getting used to the practices and getting used to the heat and that kind of stuff. So all in all, I think there was progress today. So if we're standing on a ladder, we'd be on the third rung, which is right where we need to be. So it's a lot of improvements.
Right now it's just helmets, T-shirts, shorts. You get into the pads on Friday. Things, I take it, will be a little bit different.
Yeah, we actually were in shoulder pads today. We got, with the new acclimation period, you go the first 2 days in a helmet, then you put on the shoulder pads, which is smart because you get used to those today. You can only use dummies, that kind of stuff, thud up, not a bunch of one-on-one stuff. Surely can't tackle or take to the ground, which you can't. We got on shorts. Tomorrow will be the same thing. And then on Friday, we'll thud it up a little bit. And then on Saturday, we'll actually, full tackle and then scrimmage. All
right, I want to talk about Saturday. We're going to save that for a few minutes because it's going to be a big day, media day, maroon-white scrimmage and other stuff. So out of these first 3 days of practices, what have you seen that you really like, and maybe something you've seen that really looks like it's going to take some work?
Well, I think all in all, offensively, if we're talking about that, I think we're great in the skill department. I think we got great receivers. We got some depth at receiver. Learning the routes, not having to be corrected as much. I think our quarterback plays come along really well. Chance Jones is our lead guy right now. I think he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job in the leadership role. Very serious about what he's trying to do. Always wants to correct mistakes, and we're always striving for perfection. And I just happen to be the guy that coaches him. And as I tell him, you're rarely are you going to be right. Just understand that we're always going to push for perfection, even though we may not get there. We're always going to push there, but he's responding to that well. So I think as your quarterback goes, your offense goes, and then that leads right into the offensive line. Chance has got to get the play called. He's got to get the protection called. He's got to know what's going on. Our offensive line's the next thing. They got to go out and execute, dominate the line of scrimmage. Receivers got to block on the edge when we're running the football, and they got to run crisp routes and catch the football when they have that opportunity. So I think as we're progressing, I think it starts with your quarterback, and I think Chance is doing a great job of that. He's grown like 3 inches. He's seeing the defense a lot better than he was last year, and I think our offensive line is becoming I think they're going to be physical. We'll find out shortly, but I think they're where they need to be. And then, of course, we have a good running back in Colin Anderson right now. We got some quality backs up with Dryden and Ezra Dillard, and I could go down the list. We got several, but I think we're doing well there. Doing well there as well.
How are you? Are you happy with the conditioning? I know these first few days, a lot of conditioning.
Yeah, I'm never happy with conditioning. We really, the legs feed the wolves. That's our mentality, and we run a lot. We run a lot during practice, and a lot of times I tell the kids how much conditioning we do is based on your effort during practice. When you're running 40 plays and the receiver's running, 30 to 40 yards a play, that's a lot of conditioning. So sometimes if the tempo in practice is right, we give them opportunities to do things to earn sprints off at the end. But even when we're running the sprints, I think our kids are doing well. Today was a struggle because, like I said, your body's starting to break down. It's becoming sore, and you're just fatigued at this point on the third day of the first week always. So we struggled a little bit today, more mentally than anything. And when you got a group of kids, our goal is to get them tough, and we do that with tough love. So we're hard on them, and we push them to exhaustion. We push them to a point of where they're throwing up, and that's okay. And we're learning to do that. And we're learning to be tough.
All right. I want to talk about Saturday in a few moments. Why don't you introduce? We do have a special guest right here at the end.
He is pretty special. Everybody knows Coach David Jones. Played with him when I was in high school. Outstanding football player in his own right. He's our assistant head coach, and he's in charge of all of our defense. So I figured it'd be nice to have him here to let him talk about personnel, let him talk about the projections, let him sort of give you his spill on where he thinks we are there.
All right. Very good. I'm going to let you either hold his microphone for him or something. There we go.
With these
For you listening on the audio, we are playing musical microphones.
He
right
said
there.
defense, and I look in the background, and I'm playing quarterback in that background picture.
Wait,
right
let me
there.
see what we got. You are playing quarterback in that.
He's that skinny guy, right?
Yeah, right there.
That may be the first time I've ever been a quarterback, but
Yeah.
that's a funny deal there.
So did you get to throw the ball?
No, I can't throw. My shoulder's wrecked, and I can turn around and pitch it to that running back there. That's one of the drills that we do.
Oh, man.
We call that pursuit drill, and we typically will end practice with that, which is just teaches guys, number one, to run to the ball,
Right.
get everybody chasing. But part of defense, one of the most important aspects of playing defense is understanding angles, and some of the guys run inside out to the ball, some of the guys outside in, the D line's chasing at a pursuit path, and so we work that quite often, and especially when we're non-contact. It's a good conditioning drill, but it also teaches some really good habits.
Well, that's a really good picture. Star took that the other day when we were out there. It's a great picture. I see Jason Bachtel back there. The Howard Payne coaches were out watching the other day.
They did, and we know all those guys, and boy, we're excited about the job they're getting ready to do at Howard Payne. And I know that they run the same type defense that we do, and probably some similar offensive schemes too. So I think that we can probably utilize each other as a resource to communicate and to have some good ideas and bounce things off each other. Kevin Bachtel and I talked. Kevin's their defensive coordinator. It's Jason's brother, and we talked during that practice and exchanged phone numbers and said we need to get together and just visit. And it's always good to throw ideas off one another, and I think we can both grow from that.
All right, so 3 days of practice, again, running the defense. Are you pretty happy with what you've seen so far? I know you got a lot of new faces back there.
Yeah, it's tough before you actually start going full speed and tackling and seeing the physicality of the game. I think that just getting out of the COVID mode and being able to play 7-on-7 and have a complete summer where the UIL allowed us to continue with skill work, so we got to talk football all summer. The kids, I think, are pretty well advanced in their knowledge of what we're trying to do, but then getting out there in a live scenario and contact and actually putting the skill to work is a different story. And so we filmed practice today, as we always do, and when we get back after a few minutes, we'll sit down as a staff and we'll look and go through every single player that we have and make some educated decisions on those guys. And that process continues on for a long time. But we want to find the guys that are willing to run to the ball and to be physical. And Coach Burnett always says that they're a master of their craft, which just to us means that you've got a job and to do it. And you've got coaches and you've got players that are counting on you to do your job. So finding the right fit for each one of our positions.
You do have some veterans on defense coming back, so throw out maybe a couple of names, some of your leaders out there on defense you expect this year.
Well, we had a lot of sophomores play defensively last year, and that at the time was not a great situation, but as time progresses, it becomes really important because they're seniors, they're going to have a lot of experience under their belt, and so I think obviously those sophomores have grown over the course of a year, and we're excited about the guys that we have. We've got both our safeties that are coming back, and Jordan Leach and Taylor Besson, who played. I think they both played or started the entire year last year. Linebacker-wise, I'm excited about the inside backer core that we've got, and Brandon Holland is a kid that we moved up to the varsity. He kind of did a phenomenal job on the JV. Just ran around and made a lot of tackles. Ran the ball well as a running back, and moved him up about mid-season. I think he's a really physical kid. Jalen Brown is a sophomore that was a real physical kid as a freshman, and he's a big kid. He was a 190-pounder, and he's a smart kid. Those two are the guys that are going to be making the calls defensively, and Azariah Dillard, we moved him from outside backer to inside backer. We've got Uriah King at inside backer. We've got old Ethan Pacina at linebacker, who's been our starting center for 2 years, and he's always going to be that. But if we just took him defensively, he'd be one of our best guys defensively too. He's kind of the old dog, and he knows all the tricks and all that stuff, and he's certainly a leader on the defensive side. Dryden Anderson is over there at one of the outside backers who played a lot for us last year. We've moved Quentin Thompson from a safety to an outside backer. He's a kid that was, like I said, a safety, and that's really what you're looking for at outside backer. And nowadays, with all the spread offenses that you see, you kind of need some outside backers that can cover.
Right.
And Quentin's one of those guys, so we moved him over there. Along with Owen Huntsinger, and so they're battling that thing out over there. And D-line wise, Christian Chambers played for us last year and did a good job. He's going to be a senior. He's gained some weight. It's been good weight. He's thickened up and gained some strength in the weight room. Zayden Lopez played a lot for us last year. Is going to be a junior. He's really bulked up. I mean, he's a ball of muscle right now, and just a tribute to him and the off-season work that we did. All these kids have responded to the weight room in the off-season. Nose guard Quentin Mccarty is a sophomore, and
he's a big body.
He is a big body, and that's I've played with nose guards and done it kind of two ways. Either you get a real quick one, or you get a real big one, and they're both effective. But in our scheme, our nose guard is going to get double teamed almost every snap, and we understand that. And to have a big body like him in there, and that can take on a double team and not get knocked back into linebackers is crucial for us. If our linebackers can't run, then we got trouble in our defensive scheme. So we think Quentin can get in there and hold his own and do a good job.
Of course, that's AJ's little brother.
That's
right
AJ's
there.
little brother. Now,
It's not little brother.
That's AJ's little big brother.
Exactly.
They're two different guys, I promise you.
Yeah, Derek and I were watching the other day, and some of the guys we saw last year have thickened up. They've muscled up a little bit, and I had to go back and double check a couple of them, even Chance a little bit, because he has grown some since last year.
Well, I would say we dedicated. We reimagined some things we did in the weight room this year, and put a lot of emphasis on the squat rack and getting those legs thick and those butts big, and you play on your legs, and our kids, if you look at their legs when they walk around, and I sat next to my son, and his quads are like this and mine are like this, but that's they've done a good job in the off season. We've got Noah Barron over there at corner, who's done a good job, and Case Markham's playing corner, and I know I'm leaving some names out. We've got a whole bunch of kids in positions, different positions. We've moved Cole Miller from a linebacker to a defensive end. We're still searching for the right combination, and that's a process, like I said, is going to go on throughout two-a-days. And if we have to move some guys from place to place, then we'll do that, but we're going to find the best 11. And like I said, we watch film every single day, and we'll get it figured out. We'll find the guys that are going to run to the ball and be physical, and more than anything else, I think toughness is a thing for us defensively, and we're going to find some tough guys, and we're going to play good defense.
Well, as you said, still lots of evaluation to go on here for the next week or so, and you mentioned Uriah King back on the field. That's quite a story right there.
Man, it is. Just for him to be able to put the pads on again is just a phenomenal story. I mean, everybody knows what happened to him, and he's back, and he was with us last year. He couldn't play, but he never missed a beat as far as being with us in the locker room and at games and being an encourager and all that stuff, and to get him back is great for our team.
All right, so overall feeling about the defense this year. I know it's still early.
Well, we've got potential. It remains to be seen. We just got to get guys going. We're gonna scrimmage Salado, and they're a wing T team and a option team, and it's not an offense that we see throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to stop for a minute in our insertion that we're trying to do defensively and kind of change it up and prepare for them. And it doesn't really help us throughout the season, but what it does help is our toughness, because the way that they line up, they're just going to try to smash you in the mouth and knock you off the ball, and so we need that. We need kids to get down, and I told them yesterday, it's kind of you grab a root and you growl and you grit your teeth and you play hard against a team like that. So we're excited about that first scrimmage, and that's just another way that we'll be able to evaluate kids and see who the tough ones are.
All right, that's the Salado scrimmage a week from Saturday at Gordonwood Stadium, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So absolutely looking forward to that. Looking forward to this Saturday as well. Coach David Jones, thanks for being here and enlightening us on your defense today.
Thank you.
I know we'll see you back out there. Good stuff, Sammy, and appreciate you bringing Coach Jones out. Yep. So let's talk a little bit about Saturday and what's going to be going on.
Can we go back real quick?
We can do anything
add on
you
to what
want.
David's saying. We've talked to our kids. We do tons of film study. I mean, tons of it. We'll put in 40 hours a week as a coach just watching film in our position. So to get kids prepared and to see, try to fix what we're trying to fix now before later. So we spent a lot of time doing that. But as we're talking to the kids and we talk to each other, I'll never forget, we go over our first year, we go over to Liberty Hill. And that style of offense they run, which is the same style of offense Salado runs. Coach Hare's been there a good while. That he's got their kids rolling. They're hard-nosed, get in your face type football team. And for us, it's always difficult to try to scrimmage a team like that because you don't prepare for them. You just go out there and get in a base defense and just try to out-physical them. They're going to get you on certain plays because we didn't scheme them. And we don't scheme scrimmages. It's a practice to us, but it's an opportunity for us to get physical and see how physical we're going to be and have an identity for our defense and our offense as well. A couple of years ago, our first year here, we go over to Liberty Hill, and they just hit us in the mouth. It was embarrassing. It was like a JV team playing a varsity team. It wasn't a knock on those kids. It was our first year, but we weren't physical. And then we turn around and we play them a couple of years ago when they come to our place, and they thought they're going to walk into Gordonwood Stadium and bully us around. And I got news for you. Yeah. We got over them, all on them like flies on honey.
We did.
And there was nothing they could do about it. And I told Coach Jones after that scrimmage, I said, Coach, we're fixing to be good, because of the mentality those kids have. And that's what we're looking for when we face Salado in that scrimmage. I don't give a rip what the score is, because we're not scheming them. We're out there to try to out-physical them when we're on defense, make big plays, as in physical plays. If they pop one on us because they false kiss or something, so what? We're not looking at that, because we're just trying to get better at what we do. And then, of course, offensively is let's go take it to them. And let's run the ball down their throat, and let's be able to throw our play actions or our RPOs, and let's press the ball down the field and throw and catch. If we can do that, regardless of the score, we feel that's a successful scrimmage. So all in all, that's our goal when we go into that Salado scrimmage. When we go into the Godly scrimmage, that'll be a little bit different, because that's more the styles of offenses that we will see, and we'll be a little bit more prepared for that type of scrimmage. And then just to see where we are in alignment and how we're calling our coverages in the back end, making sure we're fitting right on defense and making sure we're executing, throwing and catching and running and blocking on offense. That'll be important going into that first game, because that'll give us a better look at what a team like Lampasas will be. So that going to the scrimmage on Friday, one, we want to see who wants to be physical. When you put the pads on and you start making contact, you can tell real quick if a kid's going to make it, going to be able to play, if they have the mentality that it takes to be a varsity football player or to be a starter. So we'll see that from the start. We're going to try to balance our teams the best we can. Chance will be a quarterback for both teams. He won't play defense. We'll try to put the best group against the best group and go out there and give them some plays and just let them do their thing and have fun and see if we can be physical and see, it's not always the best 11 athletes that are out there on offense or out there on defense. It's the best 11 kids that we have that play well together. And that's what we're trying to find, the best 11 offensive guys that go out there and play well and execute, and the best defensive guys that go out there and play as a unit, fly to the football, play physical, and execute. And that's what we're looking for. And sometimes that's not your best athlete. Right. So everyone else will find a role and figure out what their role is on the team, and that's sort of what we're looking for in that first scrimmage, and just get out there and let them pop pads and get physical.
All right. What time will that scrimmage be?
The varsity will kick off at 9:30. We got media day that morning. We'll take pictures. If mom and dad want to come out and take pictures of the son or their daughter, if they have a daughter that's a cheerleader and a son that's a football player, and they want to take pictures of them in uniforms together, bring your phone or your camera, come out and take those pictures. We'll do that at 8 o'clock, and when we're wrapped up with that, we will go into our scrimmage with the varsity. They'll go at 9:30. They'll go for about an hour, or however long we see fit, and then we'll follow it up with a freshman and JV scrimmage, usually a mixture of those guys. We haven't determined that yet, whether we're just going to separate them and play them together and then play the JV together as a group and play the freshmen as a group, or if we mix them together, but we'll figure that out. They'll go about 11:30ish is what they'll do.
All right, this Saturday at Gordonwood Stadium, media day, followed by the scrimmages, so we'll look forward to that. You mentioned that scrimmage at Liberty Hill. It was a little warmish too, if I recall.
Yes, it was. Very
Man,
warm.
Derek and I were talking about that yesterday.
Yep.
It was miserable hot.
Yeah, miserable. We haven't seen any of those temperatures right now, but we're trying to prepare ourselves so when we do, we're acclimated to it. So we're on course for that. I do want to mention, while it's on my wee little mind, Friday at 5 o'clock at Bruner's, we're having the community pep rally, and that's Brownwood. I'm sure Baines early, Blanket, May, Zephyr, Mullen, Brooksmith, all those schools will be around. Rich Springs, I don't know what the area will be covered, but there'll be a lot of teams there. You'll get to see those kids. I'm sure they'll have us introduce them and say a little bit about the team, but I think there's going to be a band playing. I think they're going to have hot dogs and stuff for people. So what a great opportunity to get together as a community, see those players, intermingle with them. If you have a son or a daughter that's a little line or, wants an autograph, be my guest. Go up to those kids and ask them, hey, you mind giving me an autograph? If you want to bring a football, it's a great opportunity to do that and just get to know them. And it's an opportunity for our kids to see what value they have as leaders for the smaller kids in our community and the example that they can set for them.
Yeah, that'll be fun. They did that 2 years ago, didn't do it last year. And Derek and I will be there on Friday, so we'll see you guys up there. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll be there.
All right. Man, great show today, Coach.
Well, thank you, Carl.
And again, we've got these other sports, as you mentioned, going on, so busy time. Bands are out there working
Yep, they
hard.
sure
Saw
are.
some of that yesterday.
They sure are. We have kids, that go to band and then they go to football and then they go back to band and then they do football. So we got kids that are running cross country in the morning that come to football. So we got them going on a little bit everywhere, and kids are out there and they're running around and they're healthy and they're active, and that's important.
Oh, it sure is. Absolutely. It's good to see it. All right, Coach, thank you. Coach David Jones, thank you for being here, too. Sammy, anything else from you?
Yeah, can we thank those that make this show possible?
Yeah, we
Auto
can.
Glass Magic, Avalon Custom Homes, Bruner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bond Young, Dr. Pepper Bonding Company, Edward Jones Investments, Hendrick Medical, Howard New Prizes Humphrey Peets, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter and Johnson Associates, Smith and Sharp Agencies, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
Now, we talked about Saturday. You will practice tomorrow and Friday, still at about 7, 8 o'clock at Gordonwood Stadium.
We'll be on the field somewhere around 8:10 to 8:20. We've extended our morning meetings before practice a little bit longer so that we can make sure we get our installs in and we're ready to hit the field and running.
All right, awesome. Coach, thank you again. We'll see you soon out there.
Yeah, I'll see you Friday for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll see you before then. Have a great day, Brownwood.
Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett here on the Coaches Show every Monday and Wednesday at this time here on KOXE, and of course, video streamed at KOXE.com.